Hello, and welcome back to another episode of SkyrimPlus. Today, I'm featuring Missy Elliott's favorite Skyrim home, Halla by Elianora. Let's check out the map. Here we are at Halla. We're right across the street from the Hunting Brew Meadery. We have Chilfro Farm right behind us. Here's Whiterun, and here we are again at our featured home, Halla. Before we head to the home, we need to head to Helgen to find the key. When you're facing the gate that leads towards Riverwood and Lake Ilanalta, you'll want to head to the front of this building, where you'll find the burned corpse of the former owner. In his inventory, you'll find the key to the home, and you'll also find a shopping list. I guess this guy picked a bad day to shop. Anyway, now that we have the key, here's our new home. And she's a beaut. She's definitely got some curb appeal. Before we head through the gate, I want to show you a couple of features on the outside of the home. On the left side of the gate, you have a stall for your horse, although it does seem a little small. And behind the horse stall, you can find an iron ore vein. I'm not sure if that's part of the mod or not. I just thought it'd be kind of handy to show you. And now we'll head back to the front gate. And as we head inside, I love these wagon wheels. They're very stylish. You also have some hanging plants and some lights for night. To the right of the front door, you have your wood chopping block and woodcutter's axe for your firewood needs. Here are some blue mountain flowers and a juniper tree. And to be honest with you, I think there was a boulder over there too, but I thought it was a mod conflict and I disabled it. And then there's an outhouse. Normally, I'd open the door and show you the inside, but I smell something afoul, so let's just move on. On this side of the home, you have your smithing suite with a grindstone, a workbench, a tanning rack, several containers to store your smithing items, and then here's your anvil that acts as your forge, and a mini smelter. And right off the deck, we have an apiary for the beekeepers of Skyrim. And here's a garden. It has tomatoes, potatoes, leeks, mushrooms, 6 fertile soils to plant whatever you want, and some lavender. And right across the street is the Hunting Brew Meadery, so if you need to let loose and are feeling especially debaucherous, you're only a short waddle away from home. Now let's go take a look behind the house. Here's a little runoff from the White River for a nice water view, and you're right next to the bridge that heads towards Tundra Homestead, which is another Elianora home, Eliarkin, and Lorius Farm. While we're heading back to the front, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And now, since we've seen all of the outside features, it's time to head inside. And here's our first glimpse inside of Halla. I'm loving the lighting already. And here's a cute candlelit dining table. It has a book of supporters for the mod. Behind it is a weapons rack and a barrel of weapons. There's a shrine of Akatosh and some cool decoration. Next, we have a cozy seat by the fire. You have a cooking pot and a baking surface for your cooking needs, some harvestable ingredients, some food storage. Look at the candle lighting and the ivy. And all of the green in this home gives it a good earthy feel. Or should I say nerny feel? I digress. Let's head up these stairs to check out the loft. Now there is a little sticky spot at the top of these stairs, so I'm going to have to jump to get over. And now that we've made our way onto the loft, there are a couple of mannequins to show off some of your favorite armor sets. Look at this rather comfy looking chair. And then you have some bookshelves for the bookworms of Skyrim. There's a shrine of Azura, and that oil lantern she used is the kind you shoot down to land in the oil traps in the Nordic ruins. There's also a pretty cool shield display behind that. But now we're going to head back downstairs to see what else this home has to offer. As we walk up these stairs, we find our alchemy lab, arcane enchanter, and associated name storage for soul gems, ingredients, and potions. And you also have the rare disenchantment font, which allows you to disenchant items you've created and use that same item to re-enchant later with a stronger enchantment. That's really helpful when you're trying to level enchanting. In the corner, there's a comfortable sitting area, there's some ink and a quill if you want to write, and here's a display case to show off one of your nicer weapons. Now that we've seen all that this space has to offer, let's go find the next space. And here's your master bedroom. Look at all of the greenery and the beautiful lighting. You have a double bed, a shield for Whiterun, a shrine of Kynareth, and as we turn, we find a chest to store all of your armor. I like that she decorated it instead of just leaving it plain Jane. And now we'll head down this door to the basement. The basement is a combination armory and trophy room. You can see some of the mannequins and weapons racks that hold your typical weapons, while the plaques with the deer antlers hold special weapons like Zephyr. On this next rack, you can see a couple of spots for your own weapons, and then you have name spots for Sanguine's Rose, the Staff of Magnus, the Wabbajack, and the Skull of Corruption. And then here's a shelf for all of your black books and your dragon claws. Here's the stairs to go back up. There's a well-decorated barrel that's named storage for special weapons. Here's a safe with a spot to display the Mask of Clavicus Vial. Here's a spot for your insects in a jar, Elder Scrolls, the Dream Stride, the Ogma Infinium, the Draw Knife, the Canticle Bark, and your Paragons. Here's a bookshelf, a couple more generic weapons racks, and a spot to display your Dragon Priest masks. Here are a few more mannequins, and above them are spots for the Dwarven Black Bow of Fate and Harkon's sword. And now we're back to where we started. So since we've seen everything that this home has to offer, it's time for final thoughts. Halla is a gorgeous home conveniently located near Whiterun. It offers a double bed, a cooking pot and baking surface, a wood chopping block and woodcutter's axe, an outhouse, an alchemy lab and arcane enchanter, the rare disenchantment font, a full smithing suite, an apiary, a stable for your horse, a garden full of veggies and 6 fertile soils to plant whatever you'd like, a shrine of Akatosh, a shrine of Azura, a shrine of Kynareth, and an amazing basement with places to display your favorite weapons and armor sets, as well as display many of the game's collectible items. Ellie's decoration was amazing as usual, and the lighting was superb. I never get tired of appreciating great lighting. If you're looking for a starter home that you can grow with, Halla is an excellent choice. This concludes my feature of Halla. If you enjoyed this content and want to see more, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Click the bell icon if you want to be notified of when I post, and as always, thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next episode.